Hello everybody, it's Vertical Sandwich. In our last video, we beat the Silver Dragon in the Gauntlet of Dragovian Trial Dragons. So now we have to beat up a Gold Dragon. And we got a great start on this one. All of our hit points at max. It's nice. Although that kind of leaves us with nothing for our hero to do because he's our healer, so. But, you know, what are you going to do? The dragon looks interesting in their animation where his snout points out towards the camera. It makes his nose look surprisingly large. I'm also a little surprised that they didn't put the original Dragon King or Dragovian King dragon form into this gauntlet. Because if you remember, you fight him as a feral dragon before you unlock him as a person. So they could have easily put that in as well. I mean, it wouldn't have made much of a difference, but... Yeah, now if you remember, the gold dragon is our tension attacker, so. Strategically, it's smart to unload on him. I mean, it doesn't mean that's what I'm gonna do right now, but it certainly is smart to do, because he's gonna kill somebody. Like attacking at level 100, he's either going to kill somebody, or if he does. There actually is a hit everybody attack he does at level 100. It won't kill any of us, but...
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, so there we go. Well, that's an easy kill. But I think he also cast Kaboom. And tension level 100 Kaboom will take everybody down to like 100 hit points. But at this level, it can't kill us all. It's especially nasty. I mean, really, when it comes down to it. The idea that he has any attack that hits everybody with his tension at 100 is pretty sadistic game design. Yeah, it is Kaboom. I'm surprised he doesn't have a single person magic attack he can do, like Ka-Sizzle or something, or whatever the one that... Maybe it's Ka-Frizzle, the one that shoots the giant ball out of the sky at you. So we're getting a little lucky on the tension levels here. That's nice. Yeah, as long as he's just hitting one person, it's not a huge deal. I mean. Or doing Kaboom, because, geez, we're so well protected from that, just naturally. So there we go, 4 down. It's time for the Dark Steel Dragon. Becomes so repetitive. Like, another dragon. We're going to go through the rest of these in pretty short order. With the exception of the last one, which will be especially nasty. The animation for the last one is unlike everything that comes before, which is interesting that they would animate 7 dragons. And essentially the 7 dragons that we see, the one to fight before the Dragovian Trials and then the regular Dragovian Trial dragons, they're all repalettes of the same dragon. It's just the color changes. So, whereas the last one will be different. So we all know where we're going with this fight. To the highest tension level possible and an attack of Dragon Soul. We'll see if he lets us get that off. And actually, Yankees getting killed is fortunate. Because we don't have to do any healing then. Because he's dead and he's the only one with damage. So. See, now, in my practice file where I failed, or in my file where I failed, this happened in opposite order, where Dragon Soul happened first and killed him. And then the Divine Dragon only had to fight 2 people. So there you go. I believe that's a one-shot on him, wasn't it? Did we do any other damage? I know I wasn't even paying attention, but man, we killed him quickly. So now it's time for the Divine Dragon. And again, everybody with full life, which is fantastic. Now we're not going to get off as easily with the Divine Dragon. We're going to have to do some defensive kind of spell casting and stuff. That was a perfect run at the Darksteel, though. I mean, if you were going through this. I've often thought about speedrunning this game, about how you would go about that. Because of the boss bottleneck in the middle, essentially. And it's not like you could use the monster team like I did in my Let's Play. Because, you know, in my Let's Play, I could take, 70 shots at it. But with a speedrun, you could not. It's good that the AI on these enemies is a little dumb, because if it wasn't random, or at least partially random, you could put together some attack things that could do some real amazing stuff, like always cast the special effect status, and then breathe cold breath. Although, if that were the case, then there would be concrete strategies around. You could cause certain attacks to happen, or they would always be telegraphed, so you would know how to defend yourself. So I suppose random is actually probably in the long run probably harder, because when you can walk into a boss and know exactly what they're gonna do. I've actually been watching a lot of speedruns of A Link to the Past. Because it's a fun game to watch being speedrun. It's so... I mean, when people have developed pixel-perfect strategies and stuff, that makes it a lot of fun. But I'm watching a lot of them, and some of them with commentary, like live streams and stuff where commentary has been recorded. And, yeah, it's interesting to hear them talk about that. Like, where they're like, you know exactly walking in what this boss is going to do, so you just have to do this, this, and this. Like, but if you miss that, then suddenly you're off the strategy, and you have to do a lot of improvising. Speed Demo Archive Summer Games Done Quick is really a lot of fun for that. Like, for watching, runners do things like I just, last night watched, or 2 nights ago, watched a 100% speedrun of Luigi's Mansion, and it was amazing. Yeah, I actually just went through the process of purchasing a car. Like financing through my bank and purchasing a car. And through most of that process, could not sleep. Like, couldn't get anything done. Like, and now the car is parked in the yard and it's mine, and there's full coverage insurance on it and stuff. So now I can sleep. I actually slept for 16 hours straight yesterday. Which today it's the 11th. So from the 10th to the 11th, I slept for 16 hours. And it was making up for the 2 weeks of not having a vehicle and not knowing what I was going to do about it. And yeah, the whole thing happened reasonably quickly. Like, I went into my bank to see about getting a personal loan, and they extended me financing for a car, and suggested that, like, with the amount of financing, I decided to go and get a dealer used car. I looked at some privately owned used cars, but it was nice to get, you know, certified used, so I did that. And it's a new experience for me. I've always had cash cash in hand, like dealer purchases, or private owner purchases, which essentially means I've driven really bad used cars for a long time. So, in fact, my last car was a 1993 Dodge Spirit that I bought for $1,200, and it lasted me for 4 years. So wait, 6 years. The car I purchased now is a 2008 Chevy Impala. So now you know what I drive. If you see me on the street, wave. Anyway. But it was a crazy experience. I'm not very comfortable with signing contracts and getting into debt and stuff, so it was nice to have, you know. But it was nerve-wracking. It's one of the few things in the world that makes me nervous. Is being on the hook for anything, you know? Which is ridiculous because I've been at thousands and thousands of dollars in debt with my student loans for years and years. My student loans started to come due in like 2008. And when I first started, I was like $23,000 in debt or $25,000 in debt. And now I less than half of that. So there's our Divine Dragon, back on the subject of the game we're playing. Oh yeah, that's right. So there's going to be a little pause here, and it's just because of the video. Like, what I was doing was I was letting the animation run its course so it gets to a still frame, and then cutting over to the next. You know, shutting off the capture card, turning it back on. Not actually shutting off the capture card, but, you know, hitting stop so the video stops. So here we go. So this is the ultimate dragon, and it's huge. I mean, its like head is bigger, its wings are bigger, it's out of frame, it's so big. Its mouth is open all the time. Like, it looks like a craven dog. Like, not a feral dog, but like a dog that you've made so frustrated or angry, like, or worked up so, like, played with so much that it can't shut its mouth because it's too busy panting. Like, that's what this dragon looks like. And rightfully so, this dragon should be like the penultimate dragon challenge. It should do all the things that it should present the challenge of all of the dragons combined. It doesn't quite do that, but it does have some of the more annoying abilities that we've developed along the line. Like, I believe it can put you into a deep sleep. It's a tensioner. I'm sure it has a Wave of Ice ability. That would be my guess. It probably has an ability to knock you down. It could probably roar. I don't know if it has a breath ability. It does! There it is! And it's an especially nasty one when tensed up. So there we go. I'm being proven right in every turn. It can Wave of Ice. It has a breath ability. It has a tension-specific breath ability, which is especially nasty. And with a party like this missing a member, You really have to, I mean, you have to take your damage where you can get it. Like, it's all about hanging on. The upside is, since this is the last stop in the gauntlet, you know what you have. So, like, we've got healing items that we put in our party, and, like, we can use them now because we know we're not going to need them for our next challenge. In case you didn't know, this is the last challenge, and this is essentially the hardest challenge in the game. Is all 7 of these dragons back-to-back, culminating with this dragon. The only reason you have to do this challenge for the sake of completeness in this game is because this is like the 256th monster on the monster list. So if you want to complete the monster list, you have to defeat the ultimate dragon. And of course, you know, we want to complete the monster list, so. And I'm really thankful that Drazzle leaves are not consumed if you use them on somebody who's it's ineligible for. Now this thing's gonna take, like, this thing will take a couple dragon souls at level 50. Nick can wave of ice all at once, because I've got to heal a party member, so any attack it wants to waste doing stuff like this is fine with me. Oh, that intimidating scream could have really hurt us if it had knocked down Yangus. Yeah, that tensing up thing would be far more terrifying if I thought it could kill all of us at once. But I do not think that. It may be possible, but how rough would that be to get all this way? I mean, we're talking about, like, this is like 45 minutes of, well, I suppose it's not 45 minutes, but it's a good, it was a good 40 minutes. It was a good 40 minutes of me fighting these dragons, so. And I did well. Like, don't get me wrong, we had Angelo in our party worked up to the level these other characters are worked at, so he would have full sword skills and stuff like that. We'd be in way better shape. I could easily do this in 2 15-minute videos. We've done about 4,000 points of damage to this dragon at this point. It is kind of nice that the ultimate dragon does use largely one whole turn as a tension dump, which is nice. So, you know, if he's going to tense himself up, you know you're pretty safe from attacks. Like, because he can only get himself to level 50 in his set of 3 attacks. Although, when he did what he just did, like attack and then get himself up to level 20, that does mean you have a tension and an attack coming the first 2. Oh, maybe not, because he just wave of iced us, and he's got a good tension level going, so. So he wave of iced got up to 50, and he doesn't get 3 attacks. I don't know why. I guess I haven't been paying attention. I've just been, in post-commentary, you don't have to pay attention. I could just blah, 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 which isn't incredibly fair to you guys, but considering that 95 to 98% of the videos that I post are live commentary, and I'm still blah, blah, blahing, I don't know how much it really, I'm a little surprised that this dragon does not have a scream attack that hurts you. Because one of the other ones does, where its intimidating scream actually does damage. And it seems like this dragon's far more intimidating than any other ones. It's got a a whole new like setup and look and stuff, and it's meant to look all just like rabid and ferocious. And who are we kidding? Its attack, like it could easily eat Jessica. Like its mouth is big enough, it could just get her in its mouth and crunch down on her skull and then swallow her. I'm not saying I want to see that happen. I like Jessica. She's cute. Except in her her thumbnail under her name. She looks like she hasn't had sleep in 6 days. Or she's wearing way too much makeup. Anyway, enough about Jessica's physical appearance. We're fighting a gigantic purple dragon here. We should keep our mind on the present, which for me was actually a week ago. Alright, so that's like 6,000 points of damage now. I'm a little surprised we didn't do Dragon Soul right there, but I suppose it makes sense. Getting Yangus brought back to life before the attack turn at least gives another target. Because there he is at level 50. Murdering Jessica and everything. And I really took a chance here. And I mean, it pays off. I believe this is the killing attack. All right. So there we go. The ultimate dragon is defeated. Jessica gets no experience. 'Cause she's dead.
I am impressed. Never before has anyone overcome the full power of the Lord of the Dragovians. I am almost afraid to wonder at the true extent of your powers. I have nothing more to give you, but you are welcome to visit me whenever you wish to test your strength. It has been a great pleasure putting your strength to the test. I look forward to your next visit. Very well.
All right. So
you
when we
back
come
to
back,
the sanctuary.
everything after this. So I'll see you guys for that, and bye everybody.